I feel like the title of this movie would lend itself well to a male cologne of some kind. Introducing The Secret in Their Eyes. El secretos de sus ojos. Otherwise known in the English language as The Secret in Their Eyes. Released on August 13, 2019, hey, it just celebrated its 10-year anniversary, and it's directed by Juan Jose Campanella. And this film comes as a recommendation from one of my subscribers, one of my fans, one of the only people that talks to me on Twitter, the Owl Reviewer. Thank you very much. I know this review was supposed to come out last Friday. Thank you for being patient with me. I really wanted to get that screener in for Woodstock or Bust. But I definitely appreciate the support. And I just want to let everyone know that I'm going to try my best with the Spanish pronunciation. I did take 2 years of Spanish in high school, which was, a lifetime ago, so I'm actually doing Duolingo right now, try to get my skills back. I was never able to do like a conversation with anyone, to hear something, comprehend it, and then speak back. But in terms of like reading and writing, I was okay. So hopefully that bleeds through here, hopefully. And this film stars Ricardo Darin, Soledad Volumil, Pablo Rago, Javier Gundino, and Guillermo Francella. See, I know that the two L's together make that Y sound. That's high school for you. And this film really became famous after it won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film in 2009. So famous that, of course, they had to make an English version of this story, right? I believe that one was starring Chiwetel Ejiofor. How do I know how to pronounce that name? And I don't know how to pronounce, like, words and just simple phrases in any other language. How do I know that? Well, it's because Chiwetel Ejiofor played Baron Mordo in Doctor Strange. That's why. The Secret in Their Eyes follows the story of Ben Esposito, who is a retired judiciary agent who decides to write a novel about a mysterious murder back in the 1970s. And this film has a nonlinear structure. They go back and forth between present day, and they flash back to the 1970s when Esposito was first assigned to the case of a brutally raped and murdered young woman. The case was never really solved, so this is Esposito's attempt in coping with that event. And I gotta say, Owl Reviewer, this is a pretty damn good movie. For any of you that are interested in seeing it, if you haven't already, this is a Spanish film. So if you don't speak Spanish, there are subtitles that you'll have to read, which whenever I go into a movie and it's foreign language, don't understand the language at all, and I'm reading and I'm trying to watch what's happening, it does take like a good 5 or 10 minutes for me to adapt to that situation. And with this movie, I felt like, I think I missed a couple of things at the very beginning of the movie because I was trying to read the subtitles. But eventually my brain evens out and I'm able to go along with this movie because I know what to expect. Except with this plot, I really didn't know what to expect with this movie. I knew nothing of it going in, and that's really on me. When it comes to the Oscars, the best foreign language film, I always check out on because I never see those movies, or at least the majority of them. Whenever I'm filling out my ballots for every year, I go, okay, I don't know what any of those movies are. Let's see what the majority of critics are saying. Oh, okay, I'll pick that one. Is that a cheat? Yeah, probably. But kudos to this story for keeping me engaged, because there was just different turns left and right, here and there, throughout this entire movie. I didn't know where we were going. It comes across like a really, really good episode of Law and Order SVU. The movie starts when we see Esposito there trying to begin his novel. He's trying to write on a piece of notebook paper, which I'm like, that's not going to work out well for you. And we see him trying to portray this young woman, how that day that she died, before it happened, it was just the greatest day of any day that they've ever lived. And it's just not clicking for him. And then all of a sudden we see shots of, hey, she's being brutally raped and killed. Wow, that's 2 movie reviews in a row now. Do we have to keep doing that? Do we? And Ricardo Darin, he plays Esposito in this movie, our lead character, our lead detective, and I really enjoyed his work. It's a very difficult thing to go back and forth between 2 different age groups, back in the 70s and then back to 1999, I believe, is when the future takes place. It's interesting. Typically, the stereotypical thing of if you're playing a younger character and then an older character, when you're that older character, you have some type of facial hair, like a mustache or something, and then your younger self has no facial hair at all. In this one, his younger self has a beard, and then his older self has a goatee that's a little grayer to show that time has passed. But I really enjoyed his work. He was able to play the sincere, the concerned detective, but also the ravenous, just raging detective as well, the raging person just trying to solve and help out this husband of this murdered woman. And plus he's also falling in love with Irene, who is a newer judicial agent that comes in back in the 1970s, of course. And you can tell that there's an attraction there, but they never act on it because, well, she's married, and from my recollection, I think he was at a point, but no longer anymore. In the future, gosh, I'm getting confused going back and forth. Past, future, which I'll be honest, at points in the movie, it was a little confusing going back and forth between the two time periods. Soledad Vallamilla, she plays Irene in this movie, and I really enjoy her chemistry with Ricardo. You can see the confliction in her eyes of, yes, she's falling in love with this man, or at least she's attracted to him in some way, but he's a work colleague. You can't fall in love with work colleagues, right? Plus, she's married, and I think she has children. This would never work out. And when Esposito is really close to nailing the case and nailing the perpetrator, he has to try to convince Irene of this. Like, we need to go after him, we need a warrant, we need a blah blah blah. The more I am talking about this, the more I am getting serious flashback to Law & Order SVU. But I don't want this to come across like, oh, it's Law & Order SVU, that's TV, this is like a TV movie. It definitely is not. This movie gets very brutal with its portrayal of murder, with rape, of being hit. And not like hit, punched in the face, like, no, a mob comes in and hits people. Pretty gruesome stuff. But really the standout performance for me is Pablo Rago. He plays Morales, the husband of the murdered woman in this movie, and his performance is very powerful. He never lashes out in any type of rage that you would stereotypically think a husband of a murdered wife would. He's very quiet. He is very soft-spoken. You can tell that he is sad and that he is affected by this murder in some way. But the more you watch him and the more that he doesn't outwardly react to the situation, you just start thinking this guy is a ticking time bomb and he's going to go off soon. And that's really the big twist in this movie. I'll give you a hint. He never does. He never lashes out at all. But something big happens. He is desperate to find this murderer. The case is closed or it's temporarily on hold, but he doesn't want to give up. So he knows that the killer takes like a train to some place, to his place, like from work to his place, somewhere in there. So he goes to the train stop and is there every single night after work for the entire time, just trying to find someone that he thinks is the murderer. Which you think is pretty psycho-ish, but if I was in that boy's case, I'd do the exact same thing. As in the end, The Secret in Their Eyes, there is a reason why this won Best Foreign Film at the Academy Awards in 2009. It is great. It is a great story. It is a great thriller. It's a great murder mystery, which I am always on board for. I knew nothing about this movie going in. If you're going to watch this, I encourage you to do so without like any trailers or any spoilers. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the unraveling of this mystery. I'm going to give The Secret in Their Eyes 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, so let's take a look. Alright, Tristan and Isolde. James Franco, bitches. I haven't seen this movie in years. This came out, I want to say around high school time. One of my friends was a big fan of this movie, just because he loved how badass James Franco was. And thinking back to it, yes, I believe he was pretty badass, but I also remember this movie being very depressing, and very long too. I don't know how this is going to go next week. But James Franco is here, the bad guy from A Knight's Tale. I always forget his name, but he actually plays a good guy in this movie, which is strange. But this is the story about forbidden love. I believe it was hailed as before Romeo and Juliet, there was Tristan and Isolde. So we'll check that out next time. Thank you very much to the Owl Reviewer for the recommendation of A Secret in Their Eyes. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, please leave your comment below this video or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. So guys, have you seen The Secret in Their Eyes? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, then hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. We are so close to hitting 627 subscribers by the end of 2019, which was my main goal. Oh, I'm just so thankful for everyone who's already subscribed, but if you have friends, if you have family members that love hearing people talk about movies, or talk about random movies that maybe you've never heard about before, maybe you haven't seen in like a decade, head them over my way and have them hit that subscribe button. And remember, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will torture myself. That is going to be very entertaining for you. I will watch and record myself watching Arachnophobia, which is a movie I am scared to death of watching since I watched it as a little boy. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Tristan and Isolde. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.